Okay. Okay. So this is my game. Hopefully, I'm able to record and you're able to hear. And I'm just gonna try to do a quick walkthrough of it, and just so you can see the basic concepts of it and so on. So just give me a second. Okay, here's the title screen. Okay. So this is basically the whole story bit, and all of these graphics were designed and animated by myself. And the whole purpose of the storyline is basically to engage the user so they'll have more of a vested interest so they become more a part of the game. So now we go through a whole series of part introductions, and this is Hi, this is Keith the keyboard. His signals have been crossed. He loves to send electronic signals into Towie the tower, and then it just introduced Towie the tower and says that he loves to accept green input signals from Keith the keyboard, the mouse, and other devices like them. Towie the tower can send red output signals out of the computer. So this is the whole basis of the game. And I did a lot of research on direct concept manipulation, and that's, you know, acronym DCM. And basically, it just deals with the user having the ability to actually manipulate the concepts in the mouse. And it was actually found to be the most effective way of doing learnware was to actually have them with the research shows that this is the most effective way. So we have Keith the keyboard that has to be placed in a green rectangle. We have Towie the tower that needs to be placed in the red rectangle. And these over here are the draggable signals that can be placed in between Keith the keyboard and Towie the tower. So they're the signals, and then once you place the signals, to further reinforce the concept of how the signals go in there, to make sure that it's known that it's Keith the keyboard sending Towie the tower the signals rather than Towie the tower sending Keith the keyboard the green input signals. I have these arrows here for the user to actually drag. So it says use the correct arrow to show where it is. And then after the user has a chance, it actually shows them the correct answer. And there we go. So then we go to the next parts. So I'm just going to go and run through this. Okay. Now we have an output device, how it's showing Towie the tower, sending the signals towards Marley the monitor. And then we have another direct concept manipulation activity where we're placing Mr. Monitor and Towie into the boxes. And now this time we're dragging the red tip signals to show that they are connected. And so here's the whole concept. Now, of course, even though it says that, that they go in between to ensure that the user knows, these pre-turn arrows are here to further reinforce the concept that yes, Towie the tower is sending these signals out to Marley the monitor, which is the output device. So that's what that is. Okay, and then once again we have that check. Okay, we have the same deal. Okay, now we have a chance for Priscilla the printer. We're going to drag these signals out. And again, this is direct concept manipulation. And it was found by a study done by, I think it was the University of Ottawa, that this was one of the most effective ways for learning games and activities for students as far as interactivity is concerned. So there we go. There are my arrows. Okay. So one of the major, I guess, constructive criticisms that I got was the fact that because initially the game was just a platforming game, and so like one of the major criticisms were where exactly is the learning taking place. And I think that the direct concept manipulation method with the parts and the signals and the arrows, clearly allows the students to actually work with the material before they're actually in the game and they're sending the signals back. I would like to work on the storyline so it connects a little better to that. Maybe that this could be actually a sketch or something. This is the basic concept for it. So now we have how to control Carissa, and we're just going to go through this whole bit one more time. So now we're back at the platforming part of the game. Now, by now, the user has already had the opportunity to work with the material. And so because they already had the opportunity, it's not going to be much guessing here. I would call this more of the assessment part because now they actually have to deal with, instead of just having to deal with the part and dragging the signals, they actually have to defeat these enemies, which is actually more of like a gameplay part, and put the signals in the correct place. So I'm just going to press O. I'm going to go over here and go see if I could defeat some of these signals. But they're actually utilizing what they learned with the signals based on what they played. They know that in order to that each part has an output part and so on. So in order to insert the signals, I'm pressing I for input and O for output. That's pretty much it.